There's obviously sociological reasons that we're going to get to this rather than, prevention is better than cure, as everyone will always say. But Brendan, like John just mentioned, it's a family saloon car. There's 2 guards there. There's no backup until later on when 11 cars arrived. Some of these guards, which we're all hearing now, aren't qualified to put on the blue lights. Like, they don't have driver training courses. What is going on with the resources and the guards? Are they there?
Well, we as an association, we've been banging this drum for years, and we would say what happened the other night actually was the perfect storm, because we saw what happened was the call comes in, the initial response that was the unit that was dispatched, we felt, wasn't adequate. So you send 2 young, inexperienced guards. They're experienced and they're used to working that beat, but they're relatively junior. So they're going as one car to a hostile mob. The driver is not allowed to turn on blue lights or siren.
Sorry, now, can we...
That is insane.
What do you mean a guard can't turn on a blue lights or a siren?
The driving in guards is governed by a policy which is called competency-based driving, so that's CBD is the term we use. So you have level 1, level 2, level 3. So a lot of the drivers who have received no tuition, just an assessment, they're not authorised. They're only authorised to use their ordinary civilian driving licence, so they have to sign a contract to say that they won't exceed the speed limit, turn on the blue lights or siren while the car is in motion, or they will face discipline. So my understanding is that the other 2 patrol cars that were in the area that were responding, when that call went in for urgent assistance, those drivers are not allowed.
So they're impotent in the cars.
Yeah. They have to sit behind the traffic lights.
Yeah. They'll sit at traffic lights, they can't exceed the speed limit, or they'll face discipline. We find it absolutely ludicrous.
It's been going on for years, by the way. I mean, for the last 10, 15 years, Brendan's organisation, the Garda Representative Association, have been saying, can we please stop this? Could we have people trained so they can put on their blue lights and chase cars? So the cars you're seeing that are chasing are in the minority.
I mean, I can't believe that. I always just figured any guard in a Garda car, it can be an emergency response, can be there as quick as they can. And this goes to another case, I think it's in Cork at the minute as well, where a guard did try to get to a situation. Now, they did have the licence to get there now, but they're in court for dangerous driving.
Absolutely, and that's the problem.
They're trying to get there as fast as they can.
We believe, as an association, our members are telling us that we believe in oversight and accountability for our members, but the pendulum has just swung too far. We feel that it's the guards that are under investigation more than the criminals, and we feel disenfranchised and besieged while we see criminals and those involved in law breaking seem to be empowered. And John touched on it there. There's a sense of immunity. There's people that are challenging us, and the guards just feel that there's so much... I mean, even this incident that we talk about, and people are asking, how regular is this? How often did it happen? We work for an organisation that's obsessed with data, obsessed with gathering statistics. You'll see the police authority meetings, you'll see senior management telling the police authority, we have the statistics of how many times a guard used handcuffs, because that's a use of force. That's recorded. Can they tell us how many times a vehicle failed to stop? Can they tell us how many times there was an emergency 999 call and that the car that was dispatched had a driver who couldn't activate the blue lights or siren and provide the most quickest response? No. So it's very selective.
Wow.
And again, we think that's the culture of the oversight mechanism of this state. That it's all about double-checking, triple-checking, quadruple-checking the guards, auditing the guards' behaviour.
Which is important.
It is important.
We've seen Garda forces around the world,
yes,
and they're running amok, and it's people have to oversee the overseers.
But morale,
which is important.
though, if you're a guard who's putting their body on the line to try and help, and you think you'd be fearful that you're going to be pulled up for making a small mistake.
Well, I think guards don't feel supported. That's the thing. Okay. We feel that the system is out to get us. And not...
But importantly, so do those children.
That's what I'm saying.
They know the system's out to get them.
You just said that you feel disenfranchised. As Gardaí are feeling disenfranchised. We'd love to hear 0896 111 111. I'm sure it's hard to recruit. Like, why would you want to become a Garda? But let's talk about... Because we're looking at a socioeconomic area, and this happens all over the state, that this social contract is broken.
Well, there is no social contract. There never has been. There's a social contract up in nice areas of Dublin, Limerick and Galway. There's great social contracts there. There's no speeding. There's no cars being robbed in Foxrock in Dublin or anywhere else around the country. And why? I mean, it's none of this is nuclear physics. It's because people are comfortable, because they have an income and because they're respected.
Yeah.
And this isn't bleeding heart stuff. These kids don't care, by the way. They absolutely don't care because they know Brendan and his colleagues aren't respected. So why are they going to respect them? What's the disincentive for them not to do it? Absolutely nothing. This is going to be great fun. There's going to be no repercussions. What's the criminal justice system going to do? Nothing. I'm going to get put on the juvenile diversion programme. Really? Are you kidding me? Is that it?
Was there a time that the guards did have respect in areas like that?
I think that's a little bit of a myth as well. It's somewhat exaggerated over the generations. But yes, if you went back 50 years ago, there was more, guess what, community policing. But in order to have community policing and boots on the ground, you guess what? You need numbers and you need to equip those numbers and you need to respect them and stop treating them, as Brendan says, like foot soldiers and cannon fodder.
And what do you think needs to be done, John? Like, do you think, money needs to be put in to areas to divert
Yeah,
youth
but I
at the
recognise
source?
that's going to take time. So we can keep talking about this. The word is respect. Nobody respects these people. They're these kids, their families. They don't respect each other. They don't respect people like Brendan. If you want to see how it works, look north. Go up to Scandinavia. What are they doing right there? They're getting their educational, their social, their family, their health systems right, and everybody is more or less on an even keel. And you treat people with respect, and no surprises, they will behave respectfully. But as long as you marginalise them, having said that, they need to be answerable, and there's people very nervous and very concerned in those communities, and they need to be protected by the criminal justice system.